Hello everyone, this is Colonel Sanjay Pandey and with me is Shubhankar Chaudhary,
Hi everyone.
and we are here with the fourth episode of Only Youth and Mind Power. This series is all about youth, the moldable youth, and with me is Shubhankar, who has actually undergone this transformation over a period of last maybe 6, 7, 8, or even 9 years, I would say. When I say transformation, so it is not that he was something else earlier. He was actually in that age bracket where anything that he saw and anything he saw good, he simply took it on. And today, when I say about 8, 9 years, so right from 16, 17 years of age, today he is 26 and he has been with me. So when I say that all these videos are about me and my practiced character, my life, and everything that I've done myself, they know that I am not lying. This is how I've been. So, with this as the backdrop, today we are going to be talking about moral courage. This is something that you hear very often. And before I take off on this subject, I would ask Shubhankar what he as a child, maybe when I say child, adolescent, 15, 16, 17, did this term mean anything to him then? Did it mean anything to him when he was in college? Did it mean anything to him when he started working in a MNC? And does it mean anything to him today when he has been working with me for over 3 years? Yeah, Shubhankar.
Sir, to be honest, moral courage didn't really have much of a meaning to me right up till I would say till the time I graduated from college. Up until then, as kids or as college going teenagers, we didn't really have much use for it or much any sort of situation that tested us in terms of moral courage. I did start noticing the lack of moral courage once I joined my first company right out of college. Small things such as your manager not sticking up for you in front of his boss, your manager really pushing the team and then just brushing everything off as if it's just a normal day at work. So you may end up working until 2 a.m. just because he or she has given some unrealistic timeline or expectation to the client. At the end of it, it's just passed over as a normal day's effort simply because he does not want to upset his boss by telling him that, look, everyone was working until late because I messed up. So small things like these, what I would see happening in the company, which would just become a very big pointer that, even though these are senior people, they seem friendly, but there are examples of clear examples of people just lacking moral courage. On the flip side, I also noticed people, I had the privilege to work with people who demonstrated a lot of moral courage, who would show positivity in the team, who would really mentor people and also help them in case they made any mistakes. They weren't afraid of owning the mistakes that any subordinate or a new person made, or even they themselves would make. So, all in all, I started realizing that if you have a strong personality, if you're honest, if you're truthful, if you have integrity, moral courage automatically comes to you. But if you don't practice these virtues on a daily basis, then moral courage is very hard to come by.
What Shubhankar has just now said, he actually has given out his mind, his thought process, like it would be of any other youth, adolescent. Let me tell you one thing. All these videos which are coming under youth and mind power, they are candid. We don't even decide who will open, who will close. We just take a topic. Since it is my practiced character trait, since I have practiced everything in my life, All I need to do is to just talk. I don't have to refer, I don't have to carry out a Google search to find out what else should I speak. I don't even know what I'm talking if it is going to be found anywhere on the internet, because it's directly from my mind to you. And I use Shubhankar as a prop, basically, a live prop, because he is the one who has actually seen this entire journey. Moral courage, he says, he started identifying only after he joined the job. He has got no recollection of moral courage before that. How many of you smoked? How many of you stole an apple from the fridge? How many of you broke a glass in the house? How many of you were amongst your siblings and something went wrong and some elder came in and asked and everyone kept quiet? How many times has it happened that when you see someone else getting scolded in your childhood, that you got up and told whoever that person was with absolutely no fear of physical harm and brought something truth in front of him? That exactly is moral courage. Moral courage is part of human evolution, it is part of our growing up. Only thing is that we don't keep a finger on that when we are in childhood. As soon as we join a job or we start working, suddenly this becomes a virtue. The worst part is the moral courage is as much about owning up, as much about saving others, as much about taking responsibility for the acts done, oblique not done, which should have been done, were not done by someone else, by you, where you as a character, you come out much stronger than what you were. I'll give you a very small life experience. I was posted in central India. I was out independently on a training for a mission with my 120 people for 3 months. We were 100% independent and out. I am from artillery, and we had to, for the war purposes, we had to dig massive gun pits in which our guns go so that they don't get strafed by air or bombarded by air, so they don't get destroyed. So they go under the ground. So there was a particular design which my commander wanted to be shown. That design was explained by me to my commanding officer in presence of the brigade commander. I was a major, my commanding officer was a full colonel, and the brigade commander was a brigadier. On ground, I took them. I said, this is the design change we must have, and this is what it is, and this is what I will display. It was agreed to by the commanding officer, it was agreed to by the brigade major, and the brigade commander. The brigade commander said that I'll get the entire brigade, that is almost about more than 1,000 people for the demonstration, which we were supposed to give. We were given a month. We worked day in, day out, massive amount of digging. Day in, day out, we would do that, and we completely redesigned the way the artillery would go below the ground. There was no ambiguity. The day the demonstration came, everything was done. The demonstration was given. At the end, the brigade commander says, what have you put up? This is not what I said. Now imagine my men are hearing, 120 of them, commander is hearing, public is hearing, everyone. And I got a dressing down that this is not what I said. I looked at my CO. I went quiet. The demonstration finished. I was feeling very low. I said, no, this can't happen. It was unambiguous. The idea was mine. I had written down what exactly has to be done. I had given the designs and I gave the demonstration exactly like that. What made the commander say that? I don't know. I will not go into much details of what happened thereafter. The entire brigade went back. I was left back with 120 men. I was standing there alone, in charge of my men, their lives, and they are looking at me. They also have witnessed what commander has said. I don't know whether they understood what the what we were supposed to display. I simply did one thing. I got all 120 of them together. I gave an address. I told them that I take the moral responsibility for the failure of this demonstration. You people are supposed to be responding to me and working for me. I salute you for your excellent work. There cannot be better soldiers than you. You people are there in war, in peace with me, and I assure you, I will improve myself and not let this sort of a situation come. And today's failure of demonstration, I take the responsibility myself. So please do not feel bad. Take it that your leader did not understand. I assure you, I will improve. As an officer and no other officer, 120 men listening to me, and I said this, and thereafter we got into our work. What happened thereafter? What happened earlier than that? That's not the issue. Issue is of moral courage. So even when there are times when you know that you are not responsible, that you have done your job correctly, just to tell your subordinates that no, they are the best. You have to have that sort of a courage to stand up and say, even if you know that no, the senior was wrong. So this is that moral dilemma you will always face. So when we talk about moral courage at work, when you talk about moral courage at home, when you talk about moral courage in your life, moral courage is part of you. It has got nothing to do with the environment. It has got nothing to do whether you are in your home with your family, wife, children, or whether you are staying with your parents, or whether you are with your friends in your college, or whether you are in the hostel, or you are working, or you are a senior. Moral courage has got nothing to do with age and designation. Read the media, even chiefs of the army staffs have been found wanting. So, where exactly is the moral courage? If moral courage was supposed to be the domain of uniform, so it is not. You will find the best of the people falling and smallest of the people rising. It's all about moral courage. It's an individual trait, individual character. And remember one thing, if you have moral courage, let me give you an assurance, people are scared of you. In that particular incident, now I must tell you, 2 months down the line, I don't know what happened. There was a day when commander called me quietly. He just said, Pandey, sorry. Nothing else, no other conversation. There was no reference. I just saluted. I said, no, sir, the fault was mine. And we parted. I ended up respecting that man more than any commander that I have respected in my life. I have been open that yes, this is moral courage. Just rewind, hear that incident out, and just imagine 2 months later, someone just calls you and just says, passing by, Pandey, I'm sorry. This is moral courage. Yeah,
So,
Shubham.
very quickly before we end the video, how does someone develop moral courage?
You don't have to develop moral courage. You don't have to develop moral courage. It's there in you. You don't practice it. The problem is you don't practice it. It's there in you.
So, how does one practice?
So you practice it because every day you are going to be faced with situations where telling a truth or keeping quiet, speaking or keeping quiet, telling a truth or lying, owning up or not owning up. All of these have an impact on you or someone else. So we have that, a human being has got that defense mechanism always on to protect himself. So you take a decision to keep quiet. That's a moral courage. Why did you keep quiet? Someone else is being wronged. It may not be within your power, it may not be within your portfolio or job responsibility to talk. But then, if it is something to do very, very seriously, if it is going to affect someone, what's the point? Keeping quiet. Speak up. If at times there are times when there is no point talking, keep quiet. But fine. But then there are times when, so this is a decision you are taking every day. 4 siblings are standing and there is a glass broken and the mother is asking who broke it. So to say he broke it, no, that is not correct. Did you break it? No, I did not break it. Who broke it? So okay, fine, let him speak. But at the same time, if there is something else where within the siblings there is someone who has stolen a thing from a neighbor's house or broken a glass in neighbor's house, and he comes back and mother says, who broke that glass in the neighbor's house? So now you can't say that I'll keep quiet. When I'll wait for some time. He speaks up, fine. I will not talk to mother. I'll say, why don't you tell mother that you broke it? Why are you quiet? So let me look into his eyes and say that it is you who has to say. Why? Because the reputation of the entire house is involved. So these distinctions have to be made. You will make it and you have to make it every day. Take responsibility for what has gone wrong. That's how you do it.
Yeah.
So this is moral courage for youth. It's mind power. Develop this mind power. Start transforming yourself now so that it becomes part of your character and not a selective moral courage later on in life where you just use one incident to say you had moral courage. No. Either you have it or you don't. Take care. See you in the next video. Me and Shubhankar saying bye to you. Bye-bye.